Welcome to Doby's Media Doctrine. I'm your host, Dr. Jerry Doby. You've poured your heart and soul into crafting a compelling narrative, meticulously verifying every fact, and crafting prose that would make Hemingway proud. But in today's digital ecosystem, even journalistic excellence isn't enough. You see, we're living in the age of information overload. Every minute, countless articles are published, tweets are fired off, and videos are uploaded, all competing for the same precious resource: your audience's attention. It's like trying to be heard in a crowded marketplace during rush hour. That's where search engine optimization, or SEO as we call it in the biz, comes in. SEO is no longer a niche digital marketing tactic. It's the bridge connecting your hard-hitting journalism to the very people who need to read it. Without a solid SEO strategy, your stories, no matter how impactful, risk getting lost in the digital abyss. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to equip you with the tools and tactics to make sure your journalism not only informs, but also gets found. The first play in our SEO playbook is all about your headlines. Now, journalists, you're masters of crafting compelling headlines that grab reader attention. You've been doing it for centuries in the print world, but in the digital age, your headline has two masters to serve: engage the reader and signal relevance to search engines. Think of it this way. Your headline is both a siren song for your readers and a bat signal for search engine algorithms. It needs to entice clicks while simultaneously shouting, "Hey Google, this is what my story is about." That's where the search and story formula comes in. It's a framework I've developed working with newsrooms large and small to bridge this gap between journalistic integrity and SEO best practices. And the best part, it doesn't require you to sell your journalistic soul. This formula is about synergy, not compromise. It's about understanding what your audience is searching for and meeting them at that critical intersection of need and information. It's about headlines that are both informative and intriguing, relevant and readable. The cornerstone of the search and story formula is keyword integration. Now, don't let that term scare you off. It's not as technical as it sounds. Keywords are simply the words and phrases your target audience types into search engines when looking for information like yours. Let's say you're writing about a new city council initiative to improve recycling programs. Your keyword research might reveal that people are searching for things like city council recycling program, new recycling rules, or improve recycling in your city. Your job is to naturally and organically weave one or two of these relevant keywords into your headline, ideally towards the beginning if it makes grammatical sense. Instead of a vague headline like council makes changes to waste management, a more SEO-friendly version might be city council approves new recycling program amidst budget concerns. See how that works? We've incorporated the key phrase, new recycling program, while still maintaining a sense of intrigue and journalistic balance. It's clear, concise, and tells both readers and search engines exactly what the story is about. Now, keyword integration is crucial, but it's only half the battle. The other half is understanding user intent. What are the questions, concerns, or desires driving people to search for information related to your story? Let's go back to our recycling program example. People searching for this topic aren't just looking for any information. They want to know specifics. They might be wondering, what are the new rules? How will this impact me? Did the city council approve the program? Your headline should aim to answer at least one of these implied questions. Instead of a passive headline like recycling program debated at City Hall, try something more direct and user-focused. New recycling rules approved. What you need to know. This headline not only includes relevant keywords, but also directly addresses the user's need for clear, actionable information. It promises value and piques curiosity, making it more likely that someone will click through to read your meticulously researched article. We've talked about keywords and user intent, but there are a couple more elements to keep in mind when crafting your SEO-friendly headlines. First up, length. In the world of search results, brevity is your best friend. Aim for headlines that are under 60 to 70 characters to avoid getting truncated in search results. Nobody wants to click on a headline that ends with an ellipsis. It's like starting a joke and forgetting the punchline. The second element is clarity. Now, I know journalists love a good play on words, but when it comes to SEO headlines, clarity trumps cleverness every time. Use strong verbs, specific nouns, and avoid jargon or overly complicated language. Now, let's talk about some common headline pitfalls I've seen trip up even the most seasoned journalists. The first, and perhaps most tempting, is keyword stuffing. This is where you try to cram as many keywords as humanly possible into your headline, even if it reads like a robot wrote it. On the flip side, we have the opposite problem, the beautifully written, Pulitzer-worthy headline that's completely devoid of any relevant keywords. While it might win you awards, it won't win you any clicks from people searching online. Remember, the goal is balance. You want to incorporate keywords naturally and organically without sacrificing clarity or journalistic integrity. Your headline should be a siren song to your readers, not a spammy sales pitch. So there you have it, the search and story headline formula. It's a powerful tool for making your journalism discoverable without compromising your journalistic values. In our next chapter, we'll explore how to keep those readers engaged and on your site longer with the Content Constellation internal linking strategy. Congratulations, you've crafted the perfect SEO-friendly headline, and a reader has clicked through to your story. But our work isn't done yet. The search and story headline was just the first play. Now we need to keep that reader engaged in exploring the depths of your journalistic expertise. That's where our second play comes in, the Content Constellation, a strategic approach to internal linking that not only keeps readers on your site longer, but also signals to search engines that you're a trusted source of information on a particular topic. Think of your website as a galaxy and each article as a star. Internal links are the invisible threads connecting these stars, forming constellations of related content. When done right, internal linking creates a seamless and intuitive experience for your readers, allowing them to delve deeper into the subjects they care about. One of the most effective ways to implement the Content Constellation strategy is by linking to your back catalog. News websites, by their very nature, produce a vast amount of content over time. Don't let those older articles gather digital dust. Every time you publish a new story, take a few minutes to identify 2 or 3 older articles that provide valuable context, background information, or related perspectives. Then seamlessly weave these links into your new content using descriptive anchor text. For example, let's say you're writing about a new city ordinance related to public parks. You could link to an older article about the history of the city's park system, or a profile you did on the council member who championed the ordinance. This not only provides your readers with a richer understanding of the current issue, but also showcases the depth and breadth of your journalistic archives. It's like saying, hey, we've been covering this issue in depth for years, and here's proof. Now, While linking to your back catalog is crucial, it's equally important to strategically link to what I call your cornerstone content. These are the articles, investigative pieces, or comprehensive guides that you're most proud of, the ones that truly establish your authority on a particular topic. Let's say you have an in-depth investigative piece on the local housing crisis. Every time you publish a new story related to affordable housing, zoning laws, or homelessness, make sure to link back to that cornerstone piece. This does two things. First, it directs readers to the most comprehensive and authoritative resource on the topic, enhancing their understanding and engagement. Second, it signals to search engines that your site is a hub of expertise on this particular issue. Think of it like building a web of relevance. The more internal links you have pointing to your cornerstone content, the stronger its authority becomes in the eyes of both readers and search engines. Now let's talk about anchor text. Anchor text is the visible, clickable text that you use for your internal links. It's the bridge between one piece of content and another, and using it effectively is crucial for both user experience and SEO. The most common mistake I see is using generic anchor text like click here or read more. This tells readers and search engines absolutely nothing about the content they can expect to find on the other side of that link. Instead, aim for descriptive anchor text that accurately reflects the content of the linked page. For example, instead of click here to learn more about the city budget, use something like a full breakdown of the new city budget. This not only provides context for your readers, but also helps search engines understand the relationship between the two pages, further strengthening your topical relevance. The final point I want to make about internal linking is this. Avoid the random link trap. Some people think that just by scattering a bunch of internal links throughout their content, they're doing SEO right. But it's not about quantity. It's about quality and relevance. Don't just insert links for the sake of it. Every link should have a purpose, guiding your readers further down the rabbit hole of your journalistic expertise. Think of yourself as a museum curator, carefully arranging exhibits to tell a cohesive and compelling story. When you approach internal linking with this mindset, you create a win-win situation. Your readers benefit from a richer, more immersive experience, and your website benefits from increased engagement, improved SEO, and ultimately a wider audience for your important work. Now, we all know journalism isn't just about the written word anymore, right? It's about painting a complete picture for your audience, and that often means incorporating powerful visuals, images, infographics, videos. These aren't just decorative elements, they're powerful SEO tools in their own right. Think of it this way: every piece of multimedia content you create is another opportunity to connect with your audience through search. But here's the catch. You have to speak the search engine's language. Just like you wouldn't publish a story with a clunky headline, you don't want to leave your visuals stranded with generic file names and empty alt text fields. That's like sending them out into the world without a name tag or a way to introduce themselves. This is where many journalists, even seasoned veterans, miss a huge opportunity. They pour their hearts into crafting compelling visuals, but then drop the ball when it comes to optimizing them for search. Remember, search engines can't see images the way we do. They rely on the information we provide, file names, alt text, captions, to understand what they're looking at and how they relate to user searches. So how do we bridge this gap and make sure our visuals are working as hard for us as they should be? Let's start with the basics. File names. I know, it seems almost too simple, but trust me on this one. When you upload an image to your website, that file name is like its digital fingerprint. It tells search engines what the image is about before they even get to the surrounding content. Now, think about how you typically name your image files. Is it something generic like IMG2734JPG? If so, you're missing out on a prime opportunity to give your images a fighting chance in search results. Instead of those meaningless strings of numbers, use descriptive, keyword-rich file names. Let's say you're uploading a photo from a heated city council meeting about the budget. Instead of IMG ASON01 JPG, opt for something like City Council Meeting Budget Debate JPG. See the difference? That simple change tells search engines exactly what the image is about. And when someone searches for City Council Budget Debate, guess what's more likely to pop up in image results? You got it, your perfectly named image. This is a simple but often overlooked step that can make a world of difference in how easily your images are found online. Now, let's talk about alt text, short for alternative text. This is the written description that appears in place of an image if it fails to load or if a user is visually impaired and using a screen reader. But here's the thing. Alt text isn't just about accessibility. It's also a gold mine for SEO. When search engines crawl your website, they read alt text to understand the context of your images and how they relate to your content. This means that well-written alt text can significantly boost your image's visibility in search results. So how do you write effective alt text? Be specific, descriptive, and use relevant keywords. Don't just say image of a protest. Instead, say something like a group of protesters holding signs that read, "Save our schools and fund our future," outside the Anytown School District headquarters. See how much more informative that is? You're providing context, keywords, and painting a clearer picture for both users and search engines. Now, let's shift gears and talk about video, arguably one of the most engaging forms of content online today. But just like with images, simply uploading a video to your website isn't enough. You need to optimize it for search if you want it to be seen. Think of video optimization as a two-pronged approach: on-page optimization and platform optimization. On-page optimization refers to the elements you control on your own website, like video titles, descriptions, and transcripts. Platform optimization, on the other hand, deals with making the most of the platform where your video is hosted, whether it's YouTube, Vimeo, or another platform. Let's start with on-page optimization. When you embed a video on your website, make sure it has a compelling title and description that accurately reflects its content and includes relevant keywords. Just like with your articles, these elements help search engines understand what your video is about and who it's for. But there's one more crucial element: transcripts. Transcripts are text versions of your video's audio, and they're an SEO goldmine. Why? Because search engines can crawl and index the text in your transcripts, giving your video a significant SEO boost. Now, let's talk about platform optimization. Each video platform has its own set of best practices for SEO, but there are some universal truths. First and foremost, choose your keywords wisely. Think about what your target audience would search for to find your video, and use those keywords in your video's title, description, and tags. Second, don't underestimate the power of a compelling thumbnail. Your thumbnail is the first thing viewers see, so make sure it's eye-catching and accurately represents your video's content. Third, engage with your viewers. Respond to comments, ask questions, and encourage viewers to subscribe to your channel. The more engagement your video receives, the more likely it is to be surfaced in search results. And finally, don't be afraid to promote your video on other platforms. Share it on social media, embed it in relevant blog posts, and reach out to other creators in your niche. Remember, video SEO is an ongoing process, not a one-time task. Okay, folks, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? We've talked about the journalist's SEO triple play, the search and story headline formula, the content constellation, internal linking strategy, and the visual victory multimedia SEO boost. But I know what you're thinking is this is all well and good, Jerry, but how do I actually put this into practice in my already jam-packed day-to-day? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer, my friends, is simpler than you might think. It's about making small incremental changes that over time add up to big results. The first step is a mindset shift. We need to stop thinking of SEO as this mysterious technical afterthought and start seeing it as an integral part of the journalistic process. Just like we wouldn't publish a story without fact-checking it, we shouldn't hit that publish button without giving our content the SEO once over. It's about integrating these practices into our workflow so they become second nature. And the good news is it's not as daunting as it might seem. One of the biggest mistakes I see journalists make is trying to do too much too soon. They get all gung-ho about SEO, try to implement everything at once, and then get overwhelmed and give up. Rome wasn't built in a day, my friends, and neither is a successful SEO strategy. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire approach overnight, start small. Pick one tactic from the journalist's SEO triple play that resonates with you and focus on implementing it consistently for a week or two. Once you feel comfortable with that tactic, add another one to the mix, then another. This gradual approach allows you to build momentum and develop good habits without feeling overwhelmed. Remember, SEO is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about making consistent effort over time, not about quick fixes or shortcuts. And the beauty of this approach is that even small changes can make a big difference. Now I know what you're thinking. Even small changes can feel like a burden when you're on deadline. That's why I'm a big fan of creating systems that streamline the process. One of my favorite tools is a simple pre-publish SEO checklist. This is a list of questions you ask yourself before hitting that publish button to make sure your content is optimized for search. Your checklist might include questions like, have I included relevant keywords in my headline? Have I added internal links to related content? Have I optimized my images and videos with descriptive file names and alt text? This checklist doesn't have to be exhaustive. It's simply a reminder to pause and give your content a quick SEO once over before it goes live. Trust me, those few extra minutes can make a world of difference in the long run. Now let's talk about some common pitfalls I see journalists fall into when it comes to SEO, and more importantly, how to avoid them. One of the biggest stumbling blocks is what I call perfection paralysis with keywords. They get so caught up in trying to find the absolute perfect keywords that they end up overthinking it and getting nowhere. Remember, SEO is about finding a balance between what users are searching for and what's relevant to your content. Another common pitfall is forgetting about older content. They focus all their SEO efforts on new content and neglect their back catalog. Remember, those older articles and videos still have the potential to drive traffic and engagement if they're properly optimized. And finally, there's the issue of treating SEO as a siloed task. SEO isn't just the responsibility of the digital team, it's everyone's responsibility. Encourage a culture where SEO is seen as an integral part of the journalistic process, not an afterthought. Now, I know you're eager to see results, but it's important to set realistic expectations. SEO is a long game. It's not like paid advertising where you can flip a switch and see results overnight. It takes time for search engines to crawl and index your content, and it takes consistent effort to build authority and improve your rankings. Don't get discouraged if you don't see dramatic changes right away. Focus on implementing the journalist's SEO triple play consistently and track your progress using analytics tools. Pay attention to metrics like organic traffic, keyword rankings, and bounce rate. These metrics will give you valuable insights into what's working and what's not, allowing you to adjust your strategy accordingly. Remember, SEO is an ongoing process of experimentation and refinement. So, that's the journalist's SEO triple play, the search and story headline formula, the content constellation internal linking strategy, and the visual victory multimedia SEO boost. Implementing these three tactics consistently will significantly improve your content's visibility. Okay? We've covered the journalist SEO triple play, but how do you actually integrate these into your daily workflow? Let's walk through a practical implementation plan. Start small, build momentum. Don't try to overhaul everything overnight. Choose one tactic to focus on for the next week, then add another. This gradual approach prevents burnout. Pre-publish SEO checklist. Create a simple checklist. Headline keywords, internal links, image, jotch, video, optimization done. This takes maybe 5 extra minutes per story once you're used to it. Common pitfalls and quick solutions. Perfection paralysis with keywords. Use common sense. Journalistic intuition is a great start. Forgetting older content. Occasionally optimize high potential older content. Treating SEO as a silo. Encourage a culture where SEO is everyone's responsibility. Timeline expectations. SEO is a marathon. Significant shifts can take weeks or months of consistent effort. Focus on consistent implementation and track your analytics for gradual improvements. Imagine a scenario just a few weeks from now. Your meticulously reported stories are not only being read by your loyal subscribers, but are consistently discovered by a wider audience through search. That's the power of integrating smart, journalist-focused SEO into your workflow. The Journalist SEO triple play enables your journalistic mission. My challenge to you this week is to pick just one of those strategies and apply it consistently. The Hype Magazine's journey to a DA 75 plus and Google News status was the result of consistent application of these principles. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with a fellow journalist or someone in a newsroom who could benefit from these SEO insights. And if you're ready to take these concepts even further, for a comprehensive guide, find my book, SEO Essentials for Online Magazines, on Amazon. And great news for Kindle Unlimited subscribers. You can read it for free. If your newsroom or organization needs personalized strategic guidance, I invite you to visit my website at www.jerrydoby.com to learn more about my consulting services. I'd love to hear which tactic you're going to implement first. You can also connect with me, Dr. Jerry Doby, on LinkedIn. Let's elevate the reach of great journalism together.